We're back. We're back this evening. We haven't thought of a catchy name for our evening performance because we never know when we're going to do one. But as it was pointed out to me to us in the comments, it said, "What happened to the ish?" I was in a hurry typing it, and I put news at noon instead of news at noon ish. So tomorrow I will have to remember the ish. I forgot the ish. Anyway, there's so much going on. It's really difficult to keep up with it all. And first, I want to say that report you did on the homeless guy who was responsible for the police catching that killer of the MIT professor and of the students at Brown University was amazing. And what I want to say, he was also very brave, and I hope he gets his $50,000 because that will completely change his life and help him, I hope, to not be homeless any longer. God bless him. What a good person and a good citizen. And
yep, he followed that guy around, and that guy could just as easily have turned and shot him. But I mean, that shooter guy was after somebody specifically, and I don't think he got him because the other guy was
the MIT professor.
No. He wanted another person at Brown University, but he couldn't get them because this guy was on his tail all the time.
Well, maybe, and we may never know because now he's dead.
Well, that's my sense, you know. That's a reporter's sense. And you didn't tell me about my hair.
Well,
what a look.
Well, okay. When nobody cares. And in other news,
good hair.
This just in, you will be hit harder than you have ever been hit before if you in any way attack or threaten the United States of America. President Trump and Hegseth announced, in their words, lots of enemies were killed in Operation Hawkeye Strike, which was a declaration of vengeance in response to the ISIS killing our U.S. troops in Syria.
And we have never heard such an utterance coming from the White House ever before.
Well,
that's wonderful.
It is absolutely wonderful. And but here's a very poignant question. Is this the kind of masculinity that Tim Walz has?
I don't think so.
I don't think so either. Just had to, he would throw tampons at them. Here, take this. Anyway, so, and quickly, we just had the transfer from Dover Air Force Base where they came in. Thank them for their service and their families. But man, vengeance. I tell you, I love it. Secretary Hegseth announced on Friday that the U.S. forces executed Operation Hawkeye Strike against the ISIS facilities in direct response to the attack on the United States that occurred December 13th. Let's see, today's what, the 19th? Yep. What took them 6 days?
Well, and then that's as it should be. I mean, they wanted to wait until they give him a few days. They said, well, I guess he's not going to strike us after all. So let's all have a meeting to see what we're going to do next. And that's what they were waiting for.
I'm being facetious. I mean, 6 days is no time. I'm saying that what a great response. And as it should be that kind of response. And this was in Palmyra, Syria. And I have to read this too. This is not the beginning of a war. It is a declaration of vengeance, Hegseth said, adding that if you target Americans anywhere in the world, you will spend the rest of your brief, anxious life knowing the United States will hurt you, will hunt you, find you, and ruthlessly kill you. He continued. Yes.
It's not that we're bloodthirsty, you know, it's that this is what's needed to to push back on these guys.
It is needed to push back on these guys. It's also needed for people, Americans who are overseas or anywhere, that to feel like somebody's got your back.
Yeah.
I mean, of course, it would make me feel good to know that somebody's going to come after them. Today, we hunted and we killed our enemies, lots of them, and we will continue. U.S. Central Command released footage from the operation shortly after the announcement was made. Now, I think that is the appropriate response. They killed the people responsible. They didn't bomb an aspirin factory. You know, they took action. They did what they said they were going to do, which President Trump has always said. And it's one thing that I've always appreciated about him. And I appreciate about somebody who's willing, you know, to protect you. I know, you know, always telling stories, but it just reminds me of my dad. I mean, that's the way my father would be. You hurt one of his children and, you know, you were going to regret it. So
she's going to start chewing up the zipper of your sweater.
It's okay. It's okay.
She said, "What are we doing in here at this time of night? This is my bedtime."
Well, I remember, you know, I am going to tell a story. My father, my brother was in whatever grade school, and we used to put our lunches down on the floor, and then we would put them in our cubbies at school. And there was somebody in his class who would kick everybody's lunches on the floor, kick them all the way down the floor before they had a chance to put them in their locker. And my brother got frustrated by it and told my dad. And my dad said, "Son, there are times when you have to beat up a bully." And the next day, my brother, he said to him, "You kicked my lunch and I'll beat you up." And the kid kicked his lunch and my brother beat him up. And it was told by someone else who was in the room that the nun, we went to Catholic school, was cheering him on. "Go get him, Gus," you know. And the minute whoever it was turned around to look at her, you know. But I tell you the truth, that kid never kicked anybody's lunch again.
Yeah.
So sometimes you just have to do that. One of the things I appreciate about President Trump is he does what he says he's going to do, which Marco Rubio commented on tonight. He said the difference in President Trump and other politicians is President Trump says, "I'm going to do this, this, and this." And the other ones say they're going to do it, but President Trump does it. And in other news, is there something else?
We've expounded on that.
We expounded on that enough. In other news, Elise Stefanik made an announcement that she is not only no longer going to seek the nomination, the governor, she's no longer going to run for governor of New York, but she is also stepping down. She's not going to run for re-election. Well, she's not going to run for re-election in the House. So she will be out of that. And she has said that, and I believe 100% what she says. She says she is humbled and grateful for the historic and overwhelming support from Republicans, conservatives, independents, and Democrats across the state for our campaign to save New York, she posted. "While we would have overwhelmingly won the primary, it is not an effective use of our time or your generous resources to spend the first half of next year unnecessary and protracted Republican primary, especially in a challenging state like New York." She made this decision based on the fact that she has a very young son, and she feels that she needs to have a situation in which the demand is not so great on her time. And Elise Stefanik at one time wanted to be the ambassador to the UN, but President Trump said, "I need you in the House." And so she stayed and continued to serve in the House.
Well, she undoubtedly, her domicile, her home is in New York. And so she'd have to be traveling living in Washington basically, then going home to see her kids on weekends, and that would just be a drag. And uh, you want to say something
She's
about?
served. Yeah, I think she has served well. She is a staunch supporter of President Trump. I can't think of anything she's done that I thought was questionable. But I wanted to also read the comment that President Trump made, because you can always tell when he really likes somebody and when he is just saying whatever. Elise Stefanik, a fantastic person and congresswoman from New York State, has just announced she won't be running for governor. Elise is a tremendous talent. Regardless of what she does, she will have great success. And I am with her all the way. And I tell you what, Elise, I don't know where you're going from here, but when you have President Trump backing you up, with you all the way, there is nothing going to stop you. One of the things that I know about him, not that I know him, but from people who know him, he is one of the most loyal people you'd ever want to know. And when he says he's with you all the way, he is with you all the
As soon
way.
as those kids get old enough to take care of themselves, you can jump right back in if you want.
Or whatever. And if you need help with anything, he's there, I'm sure. Whatever. That's the kind of person he is. And that's the kind of person that most people don't see. And so that, God bless you, Elise, and thank you for your service. And she's still in until 2027. And so moving right along, there were over 50 Tren de Agua gang members who were imported under the Democrats, open border, come on in, do whatever you want, indicted in Nebraska in a massive
Tren de Agua
in Nebraska. I know, Nebraska. I mean, it just sounds so.
That's the center of the U.S.
Yeah, and I don't know, farm country, but in a massive nationwide ATM jackpotting scheme. Now,
you know what jackpotting is? Apparently hitting up ATMs to give money that shouldn't.
Well, the federal prosecutors have charged 54 members and associates of the Venezuelan terrorist gang Tren de Agua in a sweeping multi-state criminal conspiracy that siphoned millions of dollars from American ATMs. According to the United States Attorney Leslie Woods, a federal grand jury in the District of Nebraska returned 2 major indictments charging dozens of operatives in a massive nationwide ATM jackpotting conspiracy, siphoning all this money off. And the indictment just goes on. But they were charged with conspiracy to provide material support to designated foreign terrorist organizations, conspiracy to commit bank fraud, computer fraud related activity, and money laundering. So they were siphoning the money off so that they could pay for the terrorist activities.
These people have made a list of illicit things we can do in the United States and get away with it because they don't kill their enemies or something like that. And they're just going to it. If they're catching this many of them, there's like a new announcement every day of a group of these people and their scam that they're busting. And think of it, they're only busting maybe 10% of what's really happening.
Well, and this is where the jackpotting term comes in. Well, I think about Las Vegas when I hear that term. They use sophisticated malware attacks known as ATM jackpotting to force the machines to dispense cash on demand. The stolen money was then laundered and transferred among the members to conceal the origins and bankroll the group's violent operations. So they found a whole nother way to
There's a way to jackpot ATMs.
to do a bank heist. I mean, you know, it used to be I didn't use ATMs because I was always afraid somebody would come up behind me and steal. But this is just malware that they were able to use to get the money out. There's no telling what's next. And it's just another immigration situation, another reason for close the borders, build the wall, all the good things that President Trump is doing.
These guys didn't invent this themselves. They were taught how to do this. This is too sophisticated for a Mexican drug gang. Somebody taught them how to do this. Somebody who hates the United States and wants to destroy it.
We can only guess because, and maybe that'll come out. Maybe the truth and other people will be indicted, the people who are behind all of this, not just.
Maybe somebody in comments knows or has a good idea. Let us have it.
Yeah. We love you too. Thank you for your kind comments. Yeah. It's scary, and it's scary in a way, and it's comforting in another way. It was scary to think that if President Trump had won the presidency and we didn't have the people we have in his cabinet, these people would go unpunished. In fact, they would be encouraged. In fact, if they were arrested, the judges would let them out. And that would be what the previous administration would want that. But now we have an administration that actually arrests people and holds them accountable. And just like the woman who was indicted on felony charges in Minneapolis. Oh, the judge who allowed that ICE was trying to detain somebody and the judge let him out the back door. She's been found guilty of a felony charges of obstruction.
What state was this?
I want to say Wisconsin. I think it was Minneapolis. I read it, but I didn't read it to do the story. And so now I'm I'm pretty sure it was Minneapolis, and it was a female judge. She was, now I don't know what will happen with the case, but she has been convicted. They dropped the misdemeanor, but they convicted her on the felony obstruction, which is what she was doing.
Boy, she is getting anxious.
she wants to go out. Yeah,
she wants to go to bed. She wants her final.
Oh yeah, she wants her final Zoom. She wants to have a Zoomie. We're talking about our border collie. This is our Bella, and we have a border collie. We have another Shih Tzu. And we have 3 cats, so there's no telling what might be happening in any case. So it's
not like we're showing off our animals. It's like this is part of animal parenting.
I'm usually outside with the border collie this time of night, so she's a little confused.
Yeah, she likes to hunt DEAR or DEER. Sorry,
we can't. She can spell though.
Yeah.
She's learned how to spell. At any rate, I believe that unless you had something else you wanted to talk about,
18 and a half minutes is sufficient.
It's sufficient for me. And so we're going to say good night until tomorrow at noonish. News at noonish.
Okay.
Bye. Bye. God bless all of you. God bless President Trump and the United States of America.